Hi there. When I first found out about the rest and recreation life, I was rather amazed. I was doing some writing about our lives and the different lives that we choose to have. And then I was told that we will, every 4 or 5 lives, have what we call the rest and recreation life, which I thought was very interesting. It means that after doing many lives of either service or burning karma or writing some of our past lives, that we choose to have one life which is easier. Your life, if you're watching these podcasts, I suspect that your life has been rather tricky, and perhaps you're not on the rest and recreation life. The rest and recreation life is where we basically just live and have fun, and everything is pretty easy, and our families are good, and our relationships are lovely, and we have nice work, and we're usually pretty happy, and we don't deal with much because there's not much to deal with. We don't burn much karma, if any. We don't right any wrongs, and quite often we don't even do any work on ourselves because our life's quite positive and happy. You might have friends who are going through the rest and recreation life. I've had a few while I was going through my crazy life, and it always used to bother me, like, why is their life so good and my life so tricky and difficult? And then when I was told by Spirit about this, it all made sense. I think we're given a few people who are doing rest and recreation lives with us because they provide some kind of stability for us, and also because we've been with them before, so we have a familiarity and we were friends or together in other lives. And this life, they are providing the calmness, and they are the ones who are probably listening to us. We're the ones who are feeling like our life is like a soap opera, not often through our own doing. Some of it is, but some of it isn't actually. And that we've come to burn a lot of karma and to do a lot of hard lessons and hard work. When people are on the rest and recreation life, they normally are not so focused on the spiritual life. They might be religious and go to church, but they might not be doing much spiritual work on themselves. There will be a difference between you and them. You'll be struggling away there, trying to climb the mountain, and they're at the bottom of the mountain having a lovely picnic. It feels strange. I always thought it was strange, and I was almost a little embarrassed by my life, because if I was actually authentic and honest with them on what was going on, it wasn't always that great. I'd had some good parts of my life, obviously, and I'm grateful for that. But their life just seemed to be swimmingly easy. Their relationships seemed okay, and their families, and they had plenty of money. They could travel and do whatever they wanted. No one was sick. And I used to think to myself, wow, that'd be really cool living like that. I now think I'm probably nearly up to my fourth and fifth time now, and the next one should be the rest and recreation life. My friend and I, Drew, always make a joke that next time we're coming back, we're just going to be shopping bimbos and drink wine and eat food and travel and have lots of money. I suspect we would be rather bored when it actually occurs, but it could be like respite. They're kind of holiday lives. They're like going on a holiday, and life is simple. You will find that once you understand this, that you are having different lives to other people, it will make more sense to you, and it will actually be easier to live the difficult life because you know that soon the great rest and recreation life is coming up. It always has been our choice, but Spirit in the Garden of Remembrance would have recommended to us whether we were in a good place to do another difficult life. We usually do 4 or 5, or whether it's time to just have the rest and recreation life, and we will actually choose that. If we've not done the work or fulfilled our purpose, we can very rarely come back in the next life and do this one, the rest and recreation. Normally we'll have to do some work around that. So usually you can't have been a person who was mean or injured a lot of people and then come straight into that in the next past life. You probably need to pay your dues and live the life that teaches you the lessons you wouldn't learn, or be in the opposite position so you could learn those lessons. That would be chosen by you and in the Garden of Remembrance with your guides. If you are listening to this and you're on the rest and recreation life, I hope you're enjoying it. It would be really cool, and to enjoy that life. It isn't a meaningless life. You can still do lots of things in that life and have family and give love and be a kind, wonderful person. It just won't be as problematic for you than some of the people who are around you. That's what you'll notice. The life I've chosen this time to live would have burnt a lot of karma and done a lot of lessons and extended me spiritually. However, it was not without challenge, and you will find the same thing. I noticed anyone who's on the spiritual path is usually not on the rest and recreation life. They're doing the other lives. And as much as the spiritual work is rewarding, and I really love it, and I really do, and doing this work, I couldn't imagine living another way. It does completely change your whole perspective because you're always trying to better yourself, trying to improve yourself. I'm always trying to clear myself as a channel, so I'm a better channel. I'm always trying to work on my issues so I don't take to the other side and have to sit in the healing rooms for years sorting out all my issues. I'm trying to do a lot of it now. And by doing it in this life, I think we actually burn more karma, good karma. Don't feel sorry for yourself because you did choose this. You had things happen to you, but you said yes to most of them. There are times I feel that we have planned it and some people take it to extreme, particularly with abuse. We plan to perhaps do that in our life to experience it, but the people who were the abusers went way past what they should have done, and that's where free will does come in, and spirit have trouble halting that. Try and see the happiness and focus on the good parts of your life, even if you're climbing the mountain, because there are very many good parts. And I think living a spiritual life is actually a really rich life. It feels rich and very nourishing. And the people that we meet who are also on the same paths, they will be enriching your life and nourishing you. You'll often be given people who are also dealing with many of the issues that you deal with. They're not on the rest and recreation life either, but they are paired with you, and you might have a few of them. I've got a few of them, and we're always working on similar things at similar times. It's almost like we're in parallel. That actually helps as well, because when someone else is struggling with something or dealing with it and you are, then you have that kind of support in real time. We have many lives to live. We have lived many lives, and they are all different. But as we progress and try to ascend spiritually, they will, in many ways, from a human point of view, and even soul-wise, they will actually become more difficult because we're trying to climb bigger mountains. What we're setting up for ourselves is much harder to do, and it's going to be more challenging. The life is going to be more challenging. You can always change your life. You can always make it better. You can always do more. You can always release more. And I really believe that the more we release, the higher we vibrate, and then the better is our spirituality, and our life actually improves because we are filled more with compassion and love. When you see now your friends with their wonderful lives and you look like a soap opera, don't feel too bad now, because now you understand why it's like that. It's okay. They're just doing a different life to you, that's all. And in many ways it's good that they're not having the crazy life you are, because when you meet, they do listen and they try to understand, but it's not as problematic for them. And in a way, it's not as problematic for you because you're not dealing with all their things that they're doing at the same time. I used to be a little bit that I couldn't understand it, but once I understood it, it made sense, and I was more settled with it. And that's why I'm doing this short podcast, to help you to understand it. So I look forward to the rest and recreation life. It is coming. You can choose it. And love and light to you.